What is going on, guys? The 2020 NFL season is upon us, and with week 1 right around the corner, it's probably a good time to see where all 32 NFL teams stack up against one another. Here are our latest power rankings pre-week 1 edition. Number 32, Jacksonville Jaguars. Since our pre-training camp power rankings, the Jaguars have traded away star pass rusher Yannick Ngakoue, and they waived 1,000-yard running back Leonard Fournette. In other words, the worst team in football managed to get even worse. This is a tank job, and they'll likely come away with Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields next year. So Jags fans, don't worry. The pain in 2020 will be a gain in 2021. Number 31, Washington football team. If there's a coach who can fix the toxic culture of Dan Snyder's embarrassingly bad football team, it's Ron Rivera. He has a lot of talent to work with on defense, led by can't-miss rookie Chase Young. But who's going to be the quarterback? And who on offense will make the plays outside of Terry McLaurin? With all due respect to Rivera, he's not going to magically turn his team around in year 1. Number 30, New York Jets. Jamal Adams got his wish and was traded out of town. Pro Bowl linebacker CJ Mosley opted out of the season. Adam Gase is supposedly disliked by his own players. Other than that, things are all good in the Big Apple. If Sam Darnold doesn't promise in his 3rd year, the Jets may want to think about drafting another quarterback in 2021. Number 29, New York Giants. This is a very flawed football team. Rookie head coach Joe Judge knows this won't be a quick fix. Daniel Jones has to work on his mechanics. The O-line is atrocious. The many free agent signings on the defensive side of the ball won't be enough to fix this overnight. Giants fans just have to stay patient during the rebuild. This team isn't anywhere close to playoff ready. Number 28, Cincinnati Bengals. With a generational quarterback prospect in Joe Burrow, it's hard to see how the Bengals will be the NFL's worst team for a 2nd straight year. He's loaded with offensive playmakers, namely AJ Green, Joe Mixon, and Tyler Boyd. These Bengals might pull off an upset or two. They won't be a playoff team, but Burrow and company will be fun to watch. The start of a promising future begins right here in 2020. Number 27, Miami Dolphins. Like the Bengals, the Dolphins are on the right track for long-term success. But this is still the early phase of a rebuild. Head coach Brian Flores needs some time to put it all together. But with promising young quarterback Tua Tagovailoa now in the fold, Miami won't be the least bit boring in 2020. The defense should improve following the signings of Byron Jones, Shaq Lawson, and Kyle Van Noy too. Number 26, Carolina Panthers. The Panthers could be a surprise playoff team, or a bottom feeder. They're one of the tougher teams to figure out this season. Can former Baylor coach Matt Rule craft an efficient offense with new starter Teddy Bridgewater? How will this defense, full of rookies, look in the post-Luke Kuechly era? Not sure if the Panthers will be a playoff club in 2020, but their offense should be must-watch TV. Number 25, Detroit Lions. The talent is there on both sides of the ball. Matthew Stafford and new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell are a perfect match. Too bad we have no faith in head coach Matt Patricia and GM Bob Quinn. Both should have been fired after last season. But, maybe give them another one to work it out. We'll see. Number 24, Chicago Bears. The defense alone will keep the Bears in games. Allen Robinson, David Montgomery, and Tariq Cohen round out a nice set of weapons on offense. But if we can only trust Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. The Bears have too many question marks at the game's most important position. How can we possibly put them any higher? Number 23, Atlanta Falcons. Expect the same old, same old. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones will lead one of the NFL's most explosive offenses in 2020. The defense won't make enough stops, however, meaning that Matty Ice might have an MVP season if Atlanta is to get back in the playoffs. But we shouldn't fully rule out a team that's only 4 years removed from a Super Bowl appearance. Number 22, Los Angeles Rams. Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Aaron Donald, and Jalen Ramsey are good enough to ensure the Rams won't slip to the very bottom of the standings. But this team lost so many players in the offseason, namely Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Eric Weddle, and Corey Littleton. Hard to see the Rams getting back into the playoffs with a depleted roster. Not to mention they reside in football's toughest division. Number 21, Los Angeles Chargers. The teams ranked from 21 to 14 are so unpredictable. So bear with us, because we have no clue how to rank these guys. Losing superstar safety Derwin James for the year is a blow to the Chargers' star-studded defense. We're also skeptical of the Tyrod Taylor-Justin Herbert QB tandem. And playing in a rapidly improving AFC West does no favors for the Chargers. Number 20, Cleveland Browns. Hard to imagine these guys flopping as miserably as last year. New head coach Kevin Stefanski is way more qualified than Freddie Kitchens. The additions of Austin Hooper, Jedrick Wills Jr., and Jack Conklin can only help the pass protection for Baker Mayfield. Don't be surprised if things finally come together in the land, and the Browns finally become a playoff team. That'd be really exciting to see them do well for once. They did 2 years ago, but the whole thing. Regardless, Good luck. Number 19, Denver Broncos. Vic Fangio's new-look defense kept the Broncos in games last season, leading them to a respectable 7-9 record. But the hype centers around second-year QB Drew Lock, who won 4 of 5 starts in 2019. John Elway added Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler to upgrade Lock's supporting cast. Can the young QB make the most of it? If so, the Broncos will be a legitimate contender in 2020. Number 18, Las Vegas Raiders. Don't sleep on the new team in the Sin City. Henry Ruggs, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and Derek Carr could form a top 5 offensive unit. That defense will be nasty with veterans Corey Littleton, Malik Collins, and Nick Kwiatkowski, joining young stars like Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell, and rookie Damon Arnett. Number 17, Tennessee Titans. Yes, we're a bit skeptical about the AFC runner-ups repeating last year's success. Ryan Tannehill is due for statistical regression, and Derrick Henry will have a tough time defending his rushing title without Jack Conklin. Losing key starters Logan Ryan and Jarrell Casey on defense doesn't help, and the AFC South rivals in Houston and Indianapolis look considerably better, at least on paper. We don't want to sleep too much on these guys either, not after last year's Cinderella runs. Number 16, Arizona Cardinals. After trading for Pro Bowl wideout DeAndre Hopkins and drafting Isaiah Simmons in the first round, the Cardinals are a trendy pick to surprise in 2020. And why not? They have last year's sack champion, Chandler Jones, as well as the reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year under center. Kyler Murray should be even better following an impressive freshman year in the NFL. That said, the defense still has some question marks. The O-line is a concern, and they play in football's toughest division, so don't pencil them in as a playoff lock just yet. Number 15, New England Patriots. Bill Belichick is laughing at you for ruling out his Patriots. It's not crazy to think that Cam Newton is an upgrade over Tom Brady at this stage of their careers. And yeah, they lost valuable starters on defense, but Belichick always finds suitable replacements. So, Pats fans, relax. You'll still make the playoffs as long as Belichick is here. Hopefully. Actually, hopefully not. Number 14, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers' season comes down to Ben Roethlisberger's health and production. The offense was horrible without him last year, but their ferocious defense won them 8 games. If Big Ben is back at full strength, the Steelers are a Super Bowl contender. If not, they're headed for a 3rd straight non-playoff season. Simple as that. Number 13, Houston Texans. Yes, Bill O'Brien made several questionable moves as the GM, but when you have Deshaun Watson and JJ Watt, you're gonna be a playoff team. At least you're gonna contend for them. The Texans aren't a top-tier Super Bowl contender, but they're good enough for the usual 9-11 wins and a postseason berth. Number 12, Minnesota Vikings. Well, after losing 4 key starters on defense, they go out and trade for Yannick Ngakoue at a great price. Okay then, that defense won't miss much of a beat after all. Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and Adam Thielen front a potential top 10 offense. We know the Vikings will compete for a playoff spot, but we can't consider them a championship contender thanks to Cousins' well-documented struggle against top teams. Number 11, Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers is going to bounce back. He's playing behind arguably the NFL's best offensive line, and he's had previous success with Frank Reich in San Diego. Rivers will shine in Reich's savvy offensive scheme, and the Colts defense will be so much fun to watch with trade acquisition DeForest Buckner and workhorse linebacker Darius Leonard, forming a dynamic front 7. Number 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs will be must-watch TV with former Patriots legends Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski now in the fold. We're hesitant to call these guys real Super Bowl contenders, but a playoff spot is within reach as long as Brady makes the most of his ridiculous set of weapons around him. Number 9, Philadelphia Eagles. So many injuries before week 1. That's concerning, because injuries also prevented the Eagles from winning a 2nd Super Bowl in 2018 and 2019. But Doug Peterson always finds a way to make it work. The offense is loaded, and Darius Slay is a wonderful addition to this defense. The Eagles have the pieces in place to make another run at the Lombardi Trophy in 2020. Number 8, Green Bay Packers. I mean, at least they still have Aaron Rodgers and a formidable defense. But man, how do you draft Jordan Love over a much-needed wide receiver? Still can't believe that. Regardless of these questionable moves, we still have faith in these Packers. Rodgers is used to carrying plenty of flawed teams to the playoffs. We expect nothing to change in 2020. Number 7, Buffalo Bills. Is there finally a new king of the AFC East? Tom Brady's gone. I mean, I hope there's a new king. We don't need a reminder about how great the Buffalo defense is. We expect Josh Allen to improve now that he has a true number 1 receiver in Stephon Diggs. And that's why we expect the Bills to end the Patriots' reign as the top team in the division. And gotta be honest, the fact that they're this high up on the list and so close to number 1, they can actually pull through. They're at least gonna make it to the playoffs. They might pull a Super Bowl. I don't know. Got some hype in Buffalo. Number 6, Dallas Cowboys. Super Bowl winning head coach Mike McCarthy is a major upgrade over Jason Garrett to begin with. But the Cowboys drafted a future superstar wideout in CeeDee Lamb. How did they get him? How? And they signed Everson Griffin and Dontari Poe to beef up an already stacked front seven. Can't see how the Cowboys underachieve with all these offseason upgrades. Dak Prescott, this is truly your time to shine. You got this. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson and the offense alone will give Seattle double-digit wins. But now they have a world-class safety in Jamal Adams and a vastly underrated corner in Quentin Dunbar. That's going to upgrade a weak secondary. Legion of Boom 2.0? Probably not. But if Adams and Dunbar play up to their usual levels, the Seahawks defense won't hold them back so much this time around, and Seattle should re-enter the class of the NFL's elite. Number 4, San Francisco 49ers. They found good replacements for the guys that departed this offseason. But the biggest question is, can Jimmy Garoppolo learn from his lackluster performance in Super Bowl 54? Other than that, you all know that the 49ers are a top contender to win it all once again. Number 3, New Orleans Saints. This loaded roster got even better with the free agent signings of Emmanuel Sanders and Malcolm Jenkins. Are the Saints a team of destiny in what could be Drew Brees' final year? Or will they endure yet another heartbreaking playoff defeat? Number 2, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and the offense might not even reach the same level of dominance as last year, but it'll still be a top 5 unit, and their already scary good defense will be even better with the additions of Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, and Patrick Queen. The Ravens don't have any notable weaknesses on their roster. They're by far the league's most balanced team. Are they the biggest threat to dethrone the reigning champs? Speaking of which, number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. The defending champs have the best player in the game, and they enter 2020 with their core still intact. Yeah, the Chiefs are still number 1 until proven otherwise. This team is ready for a repeat, so who's going to stop them?
Somebody stop me!
Do you agree with our rankings? Join us in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We are on everything. Go find us. We're posting content all the time. TPS, post great memes. I post stuff too, sometimes, not really. Anyway, go subscribe, go follow. And of course, like this video because it takes one click down below, and why would you not do that? And subscribe to TPS because we post videos every day. Every day is a new video. So if you want more sports content, and you already get, subscribe. Down below, red button. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.